Yes, it is the countdown now for phase 4. In just a short while from now, the voting will begin as we clock well past the 50% mark of Lok Sabha seats. Now, ladies and gentlemen, obviously a lot of the states have completed their voting, but in many states, certain seats have voted, certain seats are not voting. Right now, they will be voting in the next phases. So what's going on? Let's do an overall wrap just to set you up mentally, so we're in the mind space of going back. So to understand what has already happened and now what is going to happen. So ladies and gentlemen, 102 seats here in the northeast, full of Tamil Nadu, parts of Rajasthan, in Jammu, parts of Madhya Pradesh, parts of Maharashtra voted in the first phase. 102 seats were concluded as the election began. In the second phase, 89 further seats here marked out in red, which is the remaining part of Rajasthan. One other seat in Jammu, all of Kerala, the southern part of Karnataka, northern part of Bengal, and parts of Chhattisgarh have already voted in the second phase. So that's 89 seats, total this 191. Then in the third phase, we saw another 94 seats, which are now marked out in green. So this is again, you're seeing parts of the south of Maharashtra, the remaining part here of Karnataka, all of Gujarat voted, parts of Madhya Pradesh voted, parts of western Uttar Pradesh have already voted in the third phase, of course, and some seats that have gone to the polls in Bengal, in Chhattisgarh, and in Assam. So this is the part that is done. This is the part that takes us past the halfway mark. Now comes the fourth phase, another 96 seats marked out in blue this time around. So you're seeing a whole of central UP is going to be voting this time around. The Kashmir Valley is going to see a vote in Srinagar. Parts of central Maharashtra will be voting. You're going to see voting taking place in Odisha. You're going to see voting taking place, of course, in Telangana and in Andhra. A larger part of Bengal is voting this time around. And you're going to see, of course, voting taking place, as I mentioned, in these 96 constituencies. So as we now cross into the threshold, who are the people who have already voted, who are yet to see elections? We have seen Amit Shah, who has been the candidate out of Gandhinagar. This vote is now concluded. Rahul Gandhi in Wayanad, the vote has concluded already in this election. Jitendra Singh contesting out of Udhampur in J&K. This vote is already concluded. This has already happened. These seats are done. Rajiv Chandrasekhar in Thiruvananthapuram. Again, Shashi Tharoor, of course. This vote has already taken place. His opponent, as I mentioned, Shashi Tharoor in Kerala. Nitin Gadkari, Nagpur in Maharashtra has already voted. This battle has completed. The Baramati battle has happened in the previous phase, in the third phase, for Supriya Sule, of course, against Sunetra Pawar, Ajit Pawar's wife, already done. Tamil Sai Soundararajan in Chennai, this contest has concluded, already finished in Tamil Nadu along with the rest of the state. Prahlad Joshi from Karnataka, this contest has happened in the previous phase, last phase. This contest in this part of Karnataka is over. The battle for Jodhpur for Gajendra Singh Shekhawat is already over. This electoral contest in this particular seat has been concluded. In Guna, in Madhya Pradesh, Jyotiraditya Scindia, where he's contesting from, this vote has already been cast. It's done and dusted. Mansukh Mandavia, Porbandar in Gujarat has voted in the third phase. This election is also now concluded. It's finished. Moving on, Gaurav Gogoi in Jorhat in Assam. This election has also concluded. He's fought from the seat. Shivraj Singh Chauhan has already contested, not from Guna, obviously from Vidisha is where he's contested from. So this election has already happened now in the last phase. The H.D. Kumaraswamy from Mandya, this election for the JDS has also already concluded, finished, it's done. Anil Antony from Patnamtitta in Kerala, this has already happened. This election is already over in the second phase. Shukanta Majumdar of the Bharatiya Janata Party from Balurghat, this election in West Bengal has already taken place. More seats, remember, are going to be contesting this time around. Kiran Rijiju, Arunachal, has already voted. This contest is currently now over. Now, as we take you through the rest of the seats, we're also going to bring you Tejasvi Surya, remember, in Bengaluru. Bengaluru has already voted in this election already. So as we take you through this one by one, then we're going to put together the seats which are yet to be contested. Varanasi in UP, phase 7, the last phase. Narendra Modi is the candidate from there. He is going to be filing his nomination on the 14th of May. So this is going to happen literally a day after the fourth phase concludes. Rae-Bareli is now being contested by Rahul Gandhi. This is going to happen in the 5th phase, for which the nomination papers have just recently been filed a few days ago by Rahul Gandhi in Rae-Bareli. So this is yet to happen. In Amethi, of course, that election is going to happen in the 5th phase. So not this phase today, the coming up phase next time around. So this contest is yet to take place. A lot of high-profile contests, including in Lucknow, where Rajnath Singh is contesting from, yet to take place. Let's quickly go through the list. So now that you know what battles are over, in Kannauj in UP, the 4th phase voting, Akhilesh Yadav, important battle. 4th phase voting, Behrampur, important battle for Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary and the Congress. Giriraj Singh in Begusarai in Bihar, happening in the 4th phase this time around. Y. Sharmila of the Congress in Kadapa in Andhra Pradesh, happening in the 4th phase this time around. Arjun Munda is going to be contesting from Kunti in Jharkhand. This is happening in the 4th phase this time around. Baswari Swaraj, of course, of the BJP, will be contesting in the 6th phase when Delhi votes. As we see all the battles for Delhi voting. Now, the turnout, which is a reminder, the first phase saw 66% turnout. This has been revised slightly upwards by the Election Commission. The second phase saw an almost identical turnout. And again, the third phase almost saw an identical turnout. So the average is 66.5% voting has taken place in the country up until now. So let's pick up that opportunity and open up this conversation to set up the 4th phase with our guests who are joining us on the broadcast. Venkat Narayan is with us. I'm expecting George Kurian and Shekhar Vijayan also on the broadcast with us. Venkat Narayan ji, let me put you onto the hot seat. Straight up, here we are, sir. 4th phase of elections, past the halfway mark. How's it going?
Well, I think most of the seats in which elections have taken place so far, the first 3 phases, in the 2019 election, the BJP and NDA have won 175 seats, and the rest of the parties barely 73 seats. So now we have the 4th phase tomorrow, which is a very crucial phase because Andhra Pradesh and Telangana are going to vote tomorrow. And it is expected that the TDP, Janasena, BJP alliance is likely to do very well in Andhra Pradesh. In Telangana, Congress is trying hard to win a few seats. BRS appears to be out of the race. BJP, Amit Shah says at least 9 to 10 seats the BJP might win this time. We have to see that. This is a very 4th phase is quite crucial and important, Rishabh. And so far, 1/3 of the potential voters have kept away from exercising their franchise. Only 66% means 2 out of every 3 eligible voters have exercised their franchise. One of the reasons is because more than 25 to 30 crores of people do not live in their respective villages or towns. They are working in some other part of the country. I think the time has now come for India to evolve a system by which a worker, wherever he may be living in the country, should be able to exercise his franchise and vote for a candidate of his choice in his respective constituency.
Okay, so now let's pick this one by one. Ladies and gentlemen, by the end of the 4th phase, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra, Telangana would have been completed. Rajasthan is finished. Gujarat voting is completed. Most of the Northeast is completed. So now the battleground is in important states like UP, where in the 4th phase, it is the fate of the Samajwadi Party primarily that is being decided. All the principal candidates, campaigners from Aditya Yadav to Akhilesh Yadav have to see their fates picked up on this time around. So let me get into this, Shekhar Vijayan. Shekhar Vijayan, battle for UP, 4th phase is going to be that fulcrum battle on whether Akhilesh is having some meat in the grinder. How do you think it's going?
So, Rishi, I think, Rishabh, I think this is, like we've seen so far, like Sir has mentioned, this is a long drawn battle. And now like the names you mentioned in terms of Akhilesh and in terms of all the parties, it's not going to be easy, with the turnout I think what we've seen in the last three phases at 66%, this is going to be the most important part of the so-called duel, and this is going to be really critical and really important. And and I think all the parties are going to throw the daggers out in terms of trying to win this. This is
Okay, so Shekhar,
very critical, but also the voters also have to come out.
Yeah, let's boil it down to brass tacks. In this fourth phase, with the central part of UP now going to vote, whereas where in Mainpuri and other places are the crucial seats for Akhilesh Yadav. Mayawati, we don't know, haven't really seen her on the ground, okay? So not much of a factor. Congress certainly is not a factor in UP. They'll be hoping to win that one seat which they won last time. I don't know if they win Amethi this time. Looks unlikely. So does the election, one way or the other, hinge on Uttar Pradesh and now hinge for the Indie bloc on Akhilesh Yadav's performance?
It does. It's always been like this, right? The Hindi heartland has played a major role. And like we've seen in the last time around also, Mayawati played a critical role in the 2019 election. So this time around, it's going to be really critical with the party. I think, like I said, it's really critical that this Hindi heartland people really come out and vote and they really make a difference here, because this is going to be the most crucial fourth phase. We've seen in the previous phases too, they've been heavyweights who've come in, and it's been a very, very interesting election so far. It's been a long drawn election with the summer also playing its role. So I think this is going to be the best part of the election, where everybody's going to come in.
Okay.
And these votes are going to be very crucial.
Okay, here's the good news. The good news is that so far, so good, fingers crossed, ghee shakkar everywhere, okay, that we have not seen any large spread violence during voting other than the first phase, which saw 11 polling booths disrupted in Manipur. Bengal has always, in the last decade, 15 years, seen very violent elections, even at the Lok Sabha level. So far, so good. It's going well. Like I said, I don't want to jinx it to reports coming out from the fourth phase, but let me get George Kurian into this. George Kurian, in many ways now, this is the brass tacks. This is where it is won and lost. This is where the bold battle is primarily going to be decided, probably in central UP, and the fate of the Indie bloc depends on whether Akhilesh can get more than 5 seats, which he got last time around. Mayawati had won 11 last time around. We don't really see her on the fray, even though there are BSP contestants out there. How crucial is this for the opposition and therefore for the BJP as well?
Well, Rishabh, good evening to you, to my co-panelists on the show, and to your audience. I'm very confident it looks positive so far for the India bloc when it comes to the parliamentary constituencies which have gone for, which have completed their voting. We have seen first, second, third phase respectively pretty good as far as the voter turnout is about 65%, which is okay as far as and it looks promising to the India bloc so far. We also understand that the fourth phase is 96 parliamentary constituencies which are going into polls among the 10 states and union territories. So far, half of the parliamentary constituencies out of 543, 283 plus have completed the polls. And the India bloc is looking very good. I can promisingly and convincingly say that we are 140 plus as of right now. Fourth phase, it is importance to the India bloc. And out of the 96, we again are looking to do a good seat sharing as far as 96 seats is concerned. So far, we understand that after the fourth phase of election gets completed, 70% of the parliamentary constituencies out of 543 would have been completed with the voting.
So you're confident that the Indie bloc has done 50% of the seats already in the first 3 phases. Others will, of course, dispute that figures. But let me come back to the larger picture with Venkat Narayan. Venkat Narayan ji, how much of this is now still up for grabs? Up for grabs in the sense that where do you see a swing possibly happening? Because, to see a swing happening in Gujarat would probably be a leap of the imagination. To see an absolute swing happening in Chhattisgarh would be a leap of the imagination. But is a swing possible in Karnataka, in UP, in Bengal, in Andhra?
Rishabh, this is for the first time in a long time, a zero-wave election. Modi is the only issue. And the 4 phases, the 3 phases which went to the polls, as I said, the BJP and NDA had 175 seats, whereas the opposition had only 72 seats. I have no clue on what basis George is saying that they have done very well, but I hope his hope becomes a reality. But as I said, uh, I have not been able to figure out the basic campaign theme of the opposition. They have been talking about a constitution being in danger, and Modi and his other colleagues have denied that. And this is, I'm not so sure the average voter in this country will have a clue about what constitution is and what it changing it means and all that. It's not really one of those themes which is going to grab the attention of the average voter in our country, Rishabh. And even other themes which the opposition India bloc have picked up are not very impressive, in the sense they are going to kind of grab the attention of the average voter and persuade the voter to
Okay.
change his mind.
Okay, so let's pick this up state by state, sir. In Uttar Pradesh, okay, we've seen Western UP vote. Now we're seeing Central UP vote. Okay, how is the battle in UP shaping up? Because as I mentioned, the Congress is not a contender in UP, even though they're campaigning in UP, but they are primarily focused around 2 seats, of which maybe they win one, maybe they lose the other to Smriti Irani. I don't know what's happened with the BSP and Mayawati. Maybe you can help us elucidate where you think that one is going. But she did hold 11 seats in parliament up until the beginning of these elections. So where do you see UP going then, sir? And is it that going to be? Does the BJP need to quintessentially sweep UP once again?
It seems to me that even though the opposition has managed to put up a single candidate against the BJP and to avoid a split in the non-BJP vote, I am not convinced about the opposition's ability to convince the voter that they have what it takes to run a huge country like India. And Mayawati, I don't see her winning anything at all. Rai Bareli, if Rahul is lucky, Congress might win that particular seat. And I expect the BJP to sweep UP as they did last time, Rishabh.
Okay, let me put the same question to Shekhar Vijayan. Shekhar ji, now let's boil it down. Okay, I know by very nature, no election, nowhere can be taken for granted by anyone, let alone the candidates themselves. But in Uttar Pradesh, which is probably going to decide the fate of this election, if the BJP sweeps Uttar Pradesh, which means 65, 70 seats, along with the RLD, maybe 72, 73, they are in a simple majority. So UP is not going to hinge it. Has Akhilesh done enough to give them a challenge where the Congress and the BSP are not really presenting one?
See, I think going by history, it's also important to understand that in UP, the BJP has performed really well. And like we mentioned earlier, I think this is the huge Hindi heartbeat. And predominantly, this is where the battle really happens, and this is where it's going to come down to. And now, in terms of a swing, I believe, and we've seen in the past too, that the elections is all about this Hindi heartland and how BJP swings it or how any party swings it. Now, you also mentioned Mayawati here and the 11 seats, but predominantly this is going to be a very, very critical battle. And with Akhilesh coming to the picture, it's really going to change equations very quickly. So if they win this, I think, it's also a matter of perception, Rishabhji. Everybody's watching, all the eyeballs are on this battle. It also makes a big difference in terms of how they win it, when they win it, and in terms of the majority of it. So I think it's going to be really critical, this battle, because this entire elections is going to hinge on this somewhere.
Okay, it is going to hinge. So which are the swing states then? George Kurian, where do you see the swing states that are going to decide it? So UP is obviously a big chunk of them.
Good surprise for the Bharatiya Janata Party, because they've been too complacent and overconfident. They're going to see a surprise from Uttar Pradesh. Out of the 80 seats, I've given BJP 35. Its alliance 2 seats, and Congress will come out of 17 seats, 10 seats out of 17. India bloc means Samajwadi Party, 31, and others 2. So that's one surprise that the nation is going to witness on 4th of June. And out of Gujarat, I'm looking at, one second, I'll just give it the breakup. Gujarat, 26 seats, BJP is 15, Congress 10, and others 1. And Maharashtra is also in for a surprise that we're going to look at. Rajasthan beat Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh. These are all states where the India bloc is going to do exceptionally
Okay,
well.
I don't know.
Take
Okay,
people by surprise. See, this is what happened in 2014. People got by surprise. Again, when 24 comes, people are going to get surprised.
Okay, it could be a surprise. What you're describing, of course, would be a shock. Shocks can happen. I'm pretty sure the Congress was shocked when it had this worst ever performance in the history of independent India. So I'm sure they were shocked. You were saying a shock is in store in Gujarat, that half the seats potentially they could possibly lose. I don't know if Gujaratis have rebelled against Narendra Modi to that level. We've not seen a sign of it. That might be silent. I don't know. I don't want to predict it that accurately. But it seems, ladies and gentlemen, that there are certainly going to be some battleground states. Some are more predictable, that seem to be going in one direction. I would say Gujarat is probably going in the direction of Bharatiya Janata Party sweeping all the 26 seats. But some are being more difficult, more closely contested. So let's look at Bengal for a second with Venkat Narayanji. Venkat Narayanji, how do you think Bengal is going? Mamata Banerjee has held her own in Bengal year after year, Lok Sabha election, assembly election. Can the BJP flip it this time around in the one state in which the opposition does not have a deal?
Well, I think one of the reasons why Mamata's party has done well in the previous elections is that most of the goons who used to work for the leftists have simply migrated en masse to the TMC to get benefits and all that. Now the BJP is trying a surprise by winning the number of seats that it won last time. And there has been a lot of negative publicity as far as Mamata's party is concerned. The Sandesh Khali and charges against her relative and things like that. I think the Congress and the left front combination may not be of much consequence. The fight is primarily between the BJP and the TMC. And it may be 50-50 this time.
Okay, so let me rephrase the question. Venkat Narayanji, where do you see, if the BJP is to gain seats, they won 303 seats last time. If they are hoping to gain seats, which is to better the performance, it can't necessarily be in Gujarat because you won 10%. It can't be in Delhi because you won 10%. It can't be in Haryana where you won 10%. This time, who knows whether you win 10% or not. So where could the gains come from? Is it then potentially the gains have to come from places like Bengal, places like Andhra, maybe a couple of seats out of Tamil Nadu and Kerala?
Well, I expect them to win at least half dozen plus in Telangana. And the combination of Jansena, TDP and BJP, I expect the combination to do very well and defeat Jagan Mohan Reddy's party in Andhra Pradesh in the assembly elections. And the gains for the BJP could be substantial in Andhra Pradesh. And in Telangana, I would expect them to win at least 8 to 10 seats.
Okay. Okay, so if there were gains to happen, they could potentially happen in Andhra, they could potentially happen in Telangana, they could potentially happen in Bengal, okay? You would want the BJP to be hoping that they gain a few more in UP than they did last time around. They would want at least 4 or 5 more, along with Jayant roping in maybe 2 or 3 seats. So they are past that 70 mark. That's the comfortable. The BJP wants to come with a simple majority. Okay, that's the primary goal. They would be more than happy to replicate 2019 if they got 300 seats. Would be more than satisfied. So let me get Shekhar back into this conversation. Shekhar, let's reverse the question. If there are gains to be had, you heard George Kurian saying that shocking gains will take place in bastion states for the BJP. But if there are gains to be had for the Congress, which was sitting at 52. Where do they come from? Where is the potential? They're not coming from UP. They can't come from Tamil Nadu because the DMK is the senior partner there. They can't come from Bengal because Mamata Banerjee is going to be contesting there. They can't come from even Kashmir because Omar is contesting there. So where do they come from?
I think the gains for the Congress would come actually from places like Kerala, which I think they've done
But
well.
they had 18 out of 20 in the UDF last time. So what do you gain? I mean, numbers you can only gain. You can max it out and gain 2 more seats. Correct.
You can get 2 more seats, but I think in terms of incumbency also, but like the larger picture, like I mentioned earlier, I think it's not just about the Congress. Now we've got smaller regional parties which have come into the fray. and the Congress party is actually competing with them right now rather than BJP. I think the real competition is going to happen between the small regional parties and the Congress in terms of the vote share percentage. So that's something which they need to be conscious of. I think that's really going to be the point of contention right now as we enter the fourth phase and the forthcoming phases.
Okay. So, George Kurian, what has dramatically shifted, so dramatically shifted in the pulse of the country that you're expecting that the Bharatiya Janata Party, which has held forth 100% of the seats in Gujarat, not only in the two Lok Sabha elections, but saw the Congress decimated, in fact, by the Aam Aadmi Party's entry, which stole vote share from the Congress in the Gujarat Assembly elections. What do you think is going to reverse that tide?
Well, Rishabh, you asked my fellow co-panelist about the gains where the Congress is going to gain. The Congress is not gaining anywhere. It is going to come to power. So it's a big gain for the Congress party at large. Out of the by the end of the fourth phase, out of 378 seats, we are confident we will be able to get to about 190 plus, and remaining 165 seats in the last three phases, Congress will surpass 100 seats there. So in all, it will be 290 along with our India bloc partners. Coming to Gujarat and coming to the gains you mentioned about Uttar Pradesh, where do we look at the gains? Because of the growing inflation in this country, rising unemployment in this country, and the corruption which has gone to exponential level, the people at large in India are really suffering, and the Congress party or the India bloc, they have offered the SC, ST, OBC community all that possible.
For sure. But George Kurian, where is the swing coming? A few seats here and there is not going to make a difference to anyone, because the electoral result was very clear last time around.
The Hindi heartland is where the swing is going to come for the India bloc. Uttar Pradesh, Bihar.
But for whom? When you say India, so when you say the India bloc, are you expecting Akhilesh to win what, 20-30 seats out of UP?
Yes, 31 seats.
31 seats you're expecting Akhilesh to win out of UP, which means, so where is the tide coming from? Because we saw an election in UP just 2 years ago in which the BJP did really, really well. Why would you think that complete reversal has happened in the past 18 odd months?
In simple one line, if I have to define it, it is the misgovernance and the corruption in the last 10 years of Modi-led BJP NDA.
No, but sir, we saw that tested. We saw that tested in Madhya Pradesh. We saw that tested in Rajasthan.
We saw that tested in
Chhattisgarh.
Yeah, Rishabh, you have to understand, assembly elections are on a different level, and when it comes to the central government...
Yeah, but the logic is that the BJP is better at central elections than it is at assembly elections, because the central elections are directly about Narendra Modi.
That is for the nation to witness on the 4th of June. So that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
The country is going to be taken by surprise.
Okay, could happen. I'm sure the country, including the Congress party, was taken by surprise in 2014, and the worst kind of surprise, which is absolute decimation. The Congress party twice lost out on the ability to get 10% of the seats in Lok Sabha. They'll be hoping, because the bottom line is no stable government has been offered by any party to this country, which has lasted more than a few months, without the party having, at least the main party, which is either the Congress or the BJP, having the minimum of 140 seats. For that to happen, the Congress has to find 90 more. The Congress, not Akhilesh, not Mamta, not the DMK, the Congress has to find another 90 seats from somewhere.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.